how large this guy is, it's kind of a little bit of a hassle.
Getting it out.
Yeah, I know we had a little bit of a shim to kind of open this guy up, but then from there, when you release that guy, that's when you can actually pull him out. And again, you'll need to clear that much, and because you need to clear that much, right, that guy needs to, this needs to be fully removed, right? So at least for right now, I'm just gonna whack that guy in. We can
So
mess
wait,
with that later.
It doesn't have to go all the way down?
Well, yes, it should.
No.
I would always recommend making sure that that latch right here is always all the way down, so that way it's set.
Can't jump or nothing, yeah.
Right, but especially with how this guy is and how snug he is, most important specifically for this one.
Yeah,
But
it ain't gonna come out.
yeah, it's not going to come out. Right, exactly. One thing I do want to mention, for some of the smaller ones, some of the smaller tubing, you'll actually insert this guy in there and then insert the tubing into this. It's kind of like a spacer that will allow it to all fit and be snug. Correct, yeah. So not all the tubing is this large. You just have the large tubing specifically for this guy,
Yeah.
right? So don't lose this, is what I'm saying, all right?
And that's for the smaller gauge stuff?
Correct.
Like the smaller gauge tubing?
Correct, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So right now, not that important. However, we just want to make sure, stress that it's important to keep with the machine.
Yeah.
All right? And now, one thing I also want to mention is you can actually see the size on there. Same with these guys here. You can actually, this is the Dash 16 kit, so you know, hey, this is for your large wire. You'll have kits that'll have Dash 1 all the way up to Dash 16, depending on the size of the wire. It's all depending upon the OD of the wire, right? So the 16 just, it will correlate to a value of its ID, right? The inner dimensions of that wire, or of this tooling. The OD of your wire is what you want to worry about, because how much are you going through there, right? Ideally, and I know that's going to be more of a management thing and how they're going to set it up. What you want them to do is whatever the OD of the wire is, right, the outside diameter, add about 10% to that, and then basically find whatever the closest kit is to that, right? So if it's in 1 inch, add 10%, so 1.1, and then from there, that's a metric, but you get what I mean, right? This to try and make sure that you have enough space, because if this is too
tight, it won't
too
roll
tight,
through.
it won't feed it through. You have struggles, wire, you get probably issues with the encoder, so you get the check wire supply error. On the flip side, if it's too large, right, that allows way too much memory. As it's feeding through, it might actually start
jump off.
jumping off, and then causing jams and a whole bunch of issues, right? You're not going to get consistent cuts even when you do cut, right? So it's just always something to consider, something to know.
Right size tool.
Mm-hmm.
Matters.
Right, so once you got that in, right, I'll just close this guy. And again, going on the machine station, you have the master start button, the cycle start button, the cycle stop button, open and close the feed belts, and the feed button. So always gotta turn the machine on into master start. You'll notice when you make a change on software and when you hit that master start, the cycle start button will just flash green for a little bit. That just means it's thinking. So when it's thinking, just give it a sec. If you press the button, it won't go right away. So if we see how it just didn't start, but if we hit the cycle start button, now obviously we're not ready to go, but right?
Yeah.
It will, once it stops blinking, you hit the cycle start button, then it will actually run, right? So let me do this. Open the belts, get that guy in there, close the belts on it, and then feed it through, right? Now what I always recommend doing is feed it all the way up to that cut, to the cut blades. If you don't feed it up to the cut blades, there's always So what the machine will always do when you do a, whether you're in the single part or the auto, and we'll go into that in just a little bit, it will always do a 0 cut when it begins, just so it knows, hey, I'm starting from here. This is where I'm, you know. If you have it a little bit further back, one, it may not feed up enough.
Yeah.
So then your first part length
be
is always
cut,
going to
yeah.
be off, right? And especially if you do get that image, then that's always going to be off as well. If it's too far off, like let's speed it back up, right? What can also happen is it will do a feed it forward certain amount and then make a cut, which can then be too short, gets stuck in there, and then every single part gets jammed. So just keep an eye out, feed it always to the cut blade, a little bit past. You shouldn't have an issue once it does that 0 cut. It will definitely reach the out feed belt and then feed that out, and then you could just, you know, scrap it from
Yep.
there, right?